Howdy everyone, this is Mr. Random, and I am doing a basically like a 7-part video where I am going to show you the steps that I took to create my uh, gallery server, my photo server. I want to set up a store slash gallery where I can show off my pictures, and also where if people want to, they can purchase them from me. And I know what you're gonna say. There's just put it on Instagram, just put it on Facebook, just do all this other stuff. I mean, I can do that. A lot of people do that, and that's fine. I am gonna have an Instagram for that as well. But the problem is, first off, I can't control the ads that people are gonna be seeing when they look at my pictures. They have to look at ads, and second, the quality of the pictures is going to be decreased drastically to save space on those hosts. So every time you submit a picture to Facebook or anybody, they reduce the quality of the picture, so that's going to affect how it looks, the colors and stuff like that. So my main priority is I want to control how the pictures look, where the pictures are, how many pictures you see on the screen at a time, things like that. And it's mostly not because I want to monetize it and make money off of it per se. I mean, that'd be nice. I just don't want people to have to look at ads or the quality of the picture to decrease. I guess if I had to pick, my most important concern would be the quality of the picture. I don't want that to decrease. I want it to stay as high as possible. Now, another problem with that is that large files take up a lot of space. So now what you're going to say is, there's all these providers and hosts that I can hire and or purchase or lease or whatever, and I can, but that'll cost me extra money. I already have a server, so that's not going to cost me anything extra. I already know how to set it up. That's not going to cost me anything extra, and I know how to maintain it, and I know how to take pictures, sort of, on the stuff that I like. So it's whatever. The thing is, or the point is, I want to host it. I want to do it. I'm going to create videos about it, and we're going to go from there. So I guess I got that little mini rant out of the way, or explanation. Now, I already did some of these videos, so this is going to be a 7-part, I guess, process to this. I'm going to show you some of the things that I already done or redid, I guess. That makes sense. So we'll start that now. Okay, so very briefly, I want to show you how I
Let me show you
install
how.
a new instance of the Ubuntu server. So these are all my virtual machines. Don't look at them, ignore them. Now I'm going to be I use truenas to host my servers and my virtual machines and all that. Now, I know there's like 16 different ways of installing a
More
server,
formal, like
deploying a
fancier.
server, all this other stuff, this other jazz. And this is the way I'm going to do it. So if you need me to show you how to do it on how to virtualize it using Windows, if you want to do a virtual machine and you have Windows and you want to do it that way, I can show you how to do that. Just leave a comment or talk to me on Discord. If you want me to show you how to install it using a USB device and go into your BIOS and install it the old-fashioned way using the USB jump drive or an SD card or even a freaking CD-ROM, let me know and I can show you how to do that. Drop me a comment or whatever. But this is the way I'm doing all my virtual machines. This is the way I'm going to show you. So click on add. It's going to be Linux. The name of it, I just put Ubuntu server, server, 22. Description, photo, server, local, UEFI. Okay, next. The virtual CPUs, this is not going to be resource intensive. So I'll just do 2 virtual CPUs. We'll do 4 cores, so that'll be 8 threads. And, well, 4, 2. 2 times 4. Well, no, it'll be, I'll do 1 virtual CPU, 4 cores, 2 threads. Yeah, that'll be 8. And for memory, I'll just do 16 gigs for now.
And you gotta get on it.
Now, for this one, since I'm gonna upload a lot of raw files, raw files take a lot of space, and even the compressed JPEGs take a lot of space. I would recommend creating a storage or whatever your array is called, creating at least a terabyte of space, at least. If especially if you're doing a lot of media or selling prints or pictures or stuff like that, drawings, whatever, at least a terabyte of space. I'm thinking I might do even 2 terabytes, but for now I'll just do a 1 terabyte. And this is just the adapter. Some people like to use virtual I/O for everything. I like to use the Intel one. It doesn't matter. It's your pick. This is not about which one to pick. This is about showing you how I did this really quick. So that's the NIC on my server. Create that. Now you can upload the image. The image you can get it. You just go to just do Ubuntu server and search it. There it goes. Ubuntu server. You download it. You can download the manual or do the automated. There's like 6 different ways to do this. Alternative downloads. But you download that, save it to your desktop wherever you want to save it. And then you will click here to upload it. Click a save location. So me, I always just do the main storage area. Click upload. Well, sorry. Choose file. Pick your file. Hit open. Then hit upload. It's going to take a minute or 5. Then hit next. I'm not going to do that because I already did that. So this is how it would look after you do it. So you have different ISOs there. So here's Ubuntu. Next. And then hit submit. And then it's going to do its thing in the background. So that's really easy. And it's doing its thing. Where is it? Right here. Engage it. Now you want to make sure this auto start is turned on. So every time you have to restart your main server, truenas or whatever, for whatever reason, it'll automatically start the virtual machines. So we can go to VNC it. There it goes. And then from there, we just installed it. So here we go. I want to do English. And this, we leave it at the default. If you don't know what you're doing, I would just say continue without updating. But basically, this is saying, hey, there's a new installer. Do you want to update it? Me, I just continue without updating because, yeah. So the keyboard is English. The variant is English, unless you want to change it to wherever you're at, whatever country you're from, or whatever you want to change it to. But default is English. That's what we're gonna do. Done. Now, here is if you want the bare bones minimum install, you do Ubuntu server minimize. It's very small install, very small footprint. It doesn't have all a lot of packages or the popular packages, stuff like that. I always do the full install or the default install. It's your choice. Now here's very important. This is very important. If you have IP information that you want to use, which you probably do, like static, this is a perfect time to do this. Add this now. Do this now. Because I've seen a lot of people that don't add it now and they finish the install, then go back and their internet's not working, either because Ethernet was not activated or it's not getting they don't have the IP address or the router IP and stuff like that, or the gateway. Do it now. You can fix it if you accidentally miss a step or mess it up, but it's not easy because you don't have a GUI. You're gonna have to do it all command line interface. And in Ubuntu, it's a bitch. It's a bitch to fix. I hate the way Ubuntu does it. I love the way Red Hat does it. There's other similar Debian installs. Ubuntu is Debian based that do it kind of like this, but Ubuntu, to me, in my opinion, is the worst. They do it so different. And you're probably saying, well, why the fuck are you using their server? Well, that's a long story. I don't want to get into it, but I just don't like the way they do certain things. Now, that's my Ethernet device, EMPOS5, and this is the auto-assigned IP address. Now, if you wanted to add your own static IP, this is what you would do. Go to manual, do the subnet, address, gateway, the name servers, which would be like 8.8.8.8 or 4.4 or 1. Whatever the fuck your DNS servers are, or name servers, I should say, and then your search domains like 8.8.8 or whatever. you don't know what this is, then I'm not going to go into it. That's a whole different video. But this is where you would do your manual IP information for IP4. Now, if you have IP6, you go to the other one. So that's where you would do that. Now, for like I said, just to keep this quick, I'm going to leave it as automatic DHCP. And we'll keep it at that. Now, the create bond, I'm going to be honest with you, this is more super advanced. This is for load balancing or for backup purposes or both. And I'm not doing that yet. Okay, so here's would be the proxy information if you have it. This is you would enter it. I don't have that for now, and this is a little bit more advanced, but nothing here for me. Done. Now this is the default archive address for Ubuntu. It's called a mirror. This is where your Ubuntu install is going to get updates from. Don't fuck with this unless you know what you're doing. It's pretty much a lot of people don't. That just because you don't know what you're doing on this doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing on other stuff. Don't get offended. Don't kill me. Just
What?
saying.
But you can't do
Just
this
leave it
to
as a
me.
default
You know how
unless
much
you
I
know of other
sacrifice?
better mirrors. Now here you can use the entire 1 TB that we set up, or whatever other setup you have, or you can do a custom. I always just use the entire disk. You can encrypt it too if you're like worried about security or extra want to do extra security or whatever, for whatever reason. That's how you do it. That's where you would do it, but we're not doing that. So here's a summary. It's going to tell you the boot, the swap, free space, all that, partitions. This is just a summary, and we'll go from there. Hit done. Yes. Now here is where you would put, like, you could put a name on there. You could just put whatever the fuck you want. Your name, whatever your name is. Now your server's name is going to be the name of this machine, right? So let's say this is going to be a web server. It would be whatever your server name is. Dog puppies.com or dog puppies. That's your dog server because that's your dog. You sell dogs or you sell dog shit. Not literally.
I can't do that.
Dog stuff. Username, whatever you want it to be. Dog man. Password, make it a good one. I'm just gonna put dog man for this one. Dog man. Done. Now I would recommend installing OpenSSH server. It'll make it easier to do some of the things that I want to show you real quick right before we're done. So go ahead and install it. Now these are some of the other packages that you can install. Now if you don't know what any of these are, don't worry about it. Don't do it. If you know what these are, or if you're gonna do some developments or do other crap, install them now. It'll make it easier and faster. I'm not gonna use any of that stuff. I'm not gonna use Nextcloud. I already have that. I'm not gonna use Docker. That's something else. I don't like it. Let's not get into that. But I'm not gonna use any of that. So we're done. And there it goes. It's doing its thing. It's installing. Doing its thing. Once the install is done, the server is gonna reboot. What's gonna happen is, in this situation, you have to make sure to remove the media, the install media, before the server reboots or your computer reboots. If you don't, you're going to see this screen again. So in this situation, we're going to pretend to remove the media before that screen comes up. I just wanted to show you what happens. So I'm going to turn off the server. Sometimes it takes a minute. Stop it. Okay, we'll just fucking power it off. There. Yeah, I know, whatever. So in this situation here, for this setup, I have to remove the install media. So I would go to devices and remove the CD-ROM. Delete. Yes. Then go back to virtual machines and then start it back up so I can get to the actual install. All right, here we go. Oh, there it goes. Dog man, dog man. So the first thing I always do is do an update. So on this one, you would have to do sudo at upgrade. What the fuck?
This doesn't work.
So yes, somehow this thing is answering for me. Oh, I know it's doing the SSH thing while this is trying to do its thing. But you want to do that so you can get all the updated packages. And in this situation, since we're doing the OS, we did the what was it, the OSS or the OSH? Remember that thing I told you about to do? It created a certificate for us for SSH. So that's nice. Let's see if I can clear this shit. Clear. So sudo app upgrade, yes, and do the install. Let it install, do its thing. So on this, if you're doing another type of server, you're gonna want to do this. So you're going to do SSH dash keygen. What that does is it generates a kind of like a password hash, like a encrypted certificate, and it's useful for SSH. Now, the default, just hit enter. It always says in the default. Now, password, you can use any password you want. I usually, I'm not going to say what passwords I use, but another cool thing you can do is if you hit enter and not enter a password, then every time you connect through SSH, you don't have to enter a password. So you just have to enter a user password, not an SSH password, if that makes sense. Anyways, you can just hit enter, enter. That's it. So whenever you connect to the SSH, the password will be the username, the user password. So for example, SSH at, or sorry, SSH dogman at but test.com. I would do that, and then it would ask me for the password of that user dogman.
Absolutely not.
It's just do it like this. If you can do it however the fuck you want to do, but I always do it like this. That way, whenever I SSH into it, I'll have a certificate. Now, like I said, Ubuntu server, because we installed that extra open SSH server thing at the end, towards the end, it already did this for us, so I just regenerated it. But other servers won't do that. Some will, some won't. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you that I always do to make sure I do on my fresh installs is to enable the SSH to open up that port or the service, and also you have to make sure you enable it. Some systems they'll enable it for you, some won't. So just to make sure, I think Ubuntu does by default, but I don't remember. But I'm going to show you how. So it's you have to do sudo ufw allow SSH. Password was dogman. There you go. Now that told the firewall, hey, allow the SSH service, turn on that port, turn on the service, make it permanent. Boom, done. Now you could also, that's the easiest way to do it. I think the other way of doing it is allow 22/TCP. No, wait, it was well, anyways, I'm not going to show you that because I don't remember how to do it. I have to look it up. But in Ubuntu, it's a little bit different than Red Hat, and I'm used to doing it the Red Hat way because that's firewall command. And this is just UFW. So, anyways, just do it the simple way, like I showed you the first time. That way, and you'll be good. So this way, you just have to know what service you're doing, like if it's HTTP or if it's HTTPS, which is probably not going to do it because oh shit, it did it. Or if it's FTP. Ha ha ha. So, anyways, you can do it by ports. I'm not gonna show you how to do that. You do it on your own and figure it out. It's easier if you do it, learn it. But I can help you if you want to do it that way. Leave a comment. And that's it. Like, share, subscribe. So this is part one. part 2 will be linked at the end of this video, and part 3 will be linked at the end of part 2, and etc. and etc. So love you, bye, share, subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.